We are live. We are live. I'm Dr. Frita. It's Medical Monday, and I'm about to share with you the hot health topics in the headlines. We had some technical difficulties. I'm sorry, but we're here now. And trust me, you're about to get some evidence-based medicine. The holidays are here, and during the holidays, people drink twice as much alcohol on average as normal. And so we'll play a game, myth versus fact, when it comes to the consumption of alcohol. And then I'll give you your weekly dose of the medicine in the news making the headlines. We'll start off talking about the UnitedHealthcare worker CEO who was tragically killed, but the reaction is a little mixed. Do you feel more sympathy for the suspect or for the CEO? We'll talk about it. And why is that? Why is the healthcare system so broken? Next, we'll talk about Brandi Glanville. You remember her from the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. She's one of the alums. Well, have you seen her face lately? Yeah, she posted her face and she shares that her face looks like that because she thinks she might have a face parasite. We'll talk about it. Does she have a parasite or did she have one too many fillers? I'll give you the skinny on that. Then we'll talk about Jamie Foxx. He revealed in his Netflix special what had happened was that he suffered from a brain bleed and a stroke last year. Well, guess what? He had another medical complication because he needed stitches this past weekend at his birthday dinner because he had an altercation. Yeah, doesn't seem like he can catch a break sometimes, does it? And then we'll talk about Randy Moss, the Pro Football Hall of Fame wide receiver. He's only 47 years old, and he shared that he has been diagnosed with cancer. I'll share the type of cancer and what you need to know. And then we'll talk about Disney. Don't we all love Disney? Well, we lost one of its influencers, Dominique Brown. She was an influencer with Black Girls Disney, and she died from an allergic reaction to food, reportedly. So we'll talk about food allergies and just how critically important they are. Lastly, I have a question. Is your job unaliving you? Yeah, that's a real question because there's a study that shows that depending on your job and how long you sit each day, your job could actually be hazardous to your health. I'm not kidding. Lastly, we'll hit my favorite part, which is the live Q&A. Go ahead, get your questions, put them in, get them together. I'll answer them right here live on stage. All right, so stick with me. This is Medical Monday. I'm Dr. Frita, and we're about to have a great evidence-based conversation about the medicine in the news. We are live. We are live. I'm Dr. Frita, and we are about to have a great conversation because the health topics are hot. So to my co-host, Shador, where you at? Where you at? Come on to the stage.
Here I go.
How you doing, Shador?
Pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, doing well. We're having a medical manic Monday, apparently today with some technical issues. But I thank you to everyone who's sticking with us. And I thank you to those of you who are in the replay crew. So let's get into these topics. Well, I do want to know, Shador, how was your weekend?
Weekend was good, relaxing, busy the week before last, so catching up on my rest.
That's right. You were traveling last weekend. Well, my weekend was not relaxing. It was not relaxing at all, but boy, did I have fun. Shador, I did the most. We started off on Friday night. So, you know, my oldest girl is a freshman at FAMU. She's in the Marching 100. Well, they were invited to be a part of the ESPN Band of the Year competition, and it aired on ESPN. You can catch it on ESPN Plus. I did not know what a big deal it was until my sister and I got there. So they competed with other bands across America, and FAMU came out number one. The Marching 100 from the Florida A&M University was number one. My baby is a trumpet, so I was super proud. I was standing up there dancing. Shador, you know how I am. I don't know what I'm going to stop. I was standing up there dancing. And I found out from Amara after the fact, she said that she was looking at the Jumbotron and she was like, oh, that lady has a sweatshirt like the one I gave my mom. That is my mom. So everybody in the band was like, that's your mama. Oh, that is your mama. I didn't even know I was on the Jumbotron. Wow. I got to live my life, Shador. And you know, somebody has to pay for her therapy. I'm sure I embarrass her. And then on Saturday, you know, Funky Dineva, you know, I've been on his show a couple of times, Funky Dineva. You follow him. He's a real trip, highly intelligent, super hilarious, and a very warm person. We got to meet him. He had a charity event, Down to the Bar Christmas edition. It was hosted by Pretty Plates, and that room was packed, 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 which was wonderful because to get in, you needed to take an unwrapped toy to give to kids with challenged privileges. There were so many toys that they could hardly fit them in the van. And so it was a great event. He was warm. He was hilarious. Everybody was there, happy, dressed all, spirited. It was just a good time and a great way to give back. So I was excited to get to see him at that event. And then on Sunday, I got to see my friend Selena Johnson because she has dropped a new album, Legacy. So if you go to her social media, she's at Selena Johnson. And I'll be posting later on today on my Instagram at dr.frita, the Funky Dineva event. And then later on, I'll be posting Selena's event also. But she had a great conversation with Cherie Nicole. You can find her at Cherie, SHARI _ Nicole. It was a great conversation, intimate conversation. And then she sang, and I'm telling you, Selena can sing down. You probably know her. She was on Fox Soul with the was not Queen's Court. Gosh, I'm getting the name wrong, but she was on a show with Vivica Fox, and she was on there with Lisa Ray McCoy, and Claudia Jordan was on that show, one of the Fox Soul shows. And then she was also on, of course, Sister Circle, How I Met Her. But her number one love is singing. And so get her album Legacy. We had a good time. She came down. We did some slides. She actually has a new slide dance with one of her songs. But basically, it was just a great, great weekend for me. But it wasn't so great for some of the people who are in the headlines. But we'll talk about that. But let's start off with my favorite game, Myth versus Fact. Who was the first one in the chat sitting up here waiting for us to get going, Shadora?
Yeah, first one today was Randy. Hello, Randy.
Hi, Randy. Thank you for joining us.
He says, look forward to the show today.
All right. Good. All right, y'all, please go ahead and give us a like as you come on in and share that we're here. Say we're here. We're here. Get used to it. Go ahead and give us a like because we're about to have the first game, Myth versus Fact. So we know when it comes to alcohol, studies have shown us that the alcohol consumption actually doubles, during the holidays. So for Myth versus Fact, I'm going to give you a statement. If you think it's a myth, put an M1 for this first one. If it's a fact, put an F1, okay? And so the first statement, as long as you drink in moderation, it is completely safe. As long as you drink in moderation, it is completely safe. Put an M1 if you're like, nah, that ain't true. Put an F1 if you're like, yeah, that's a fact, moderation, totally safe. All right. And for the next statement, for my favorite little game, Myth versus Fact, for this one, put an M2 if you think it's a myth, put an F2 if you think that it's a fact. But for this statement, if you drink on an empty stomach, that causes a faster absorption of the alcohol and it can increase the toxicity, okay? So if you're someone who likes to get to the party and get it started, or if you like to pregame and drink at home before you have food in your stomach, it causes a faster absorption of the alcohol and it can potentially increase the toxic effects. An M2, if you think that's a myth, if that does not sound right to you, put an F2 if you think it's a fact. All right, pencils down. All right, Shador, let's roll the clip and then we'll get into our answers.
All right.
And now, eye on your health, whether it's eggnog or champagne, the holidays are high season for festive toasts. It's estimated that Americans drink double their usual amount of alcohol during the holidays. But as you might imagine, all of that extra booze could harm your health. Here's CBS's Michael George with the story.
The holidays are a time to toast the season, but there are health consequences with drinking alcohol.
You're supposed to not drink at all. I think it's just a matter of people making decisions for themselves and understanding it's not risk-free.
The World Health Organization says there's no safe amount of alcohol consumption, citing years of research on the risks and harms associated with drinking. All alcoholic drinks, including wine, beer, and liquor, are linked with cancer, according to the CDC.
Alcohol is a real toxin, and it can get inside of cells. It can cause damage to the mitochondria, which make energy. They're the powerhouses of the cells. To the DNA, which can be important in terms of cancer.
Alcohol can increase the risk of esophageal, stomach, and breast cancer, as well as liver disease, cardiovascular disease, and stroke. CBS News chief medical correspondent Dr. John LaPook says less is more in terms of alcohol risk.
Have something in your stomach and have a plan. Say, I'm going to come in here and not like, well, whatever happens, happens. I'm going to think about what I'm going to do. And the first drink should be with something in your stomach.
And make sure to hydrate before, during, and after the holiday party. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
All right. Let's see the answers for myth versus fact. All right, let's pull up that first one. As long as you drink alcohol in moderation, it's completely safe. All right, who put an M1? Who put an F1?
All right. So going with a fact, we go Roz. Hello, Roz John.
Hi, Roz. So you think as long as it's in moderation, it's completely 100% safe, okay? You say that's a fact? Ooh, I love this game.
KK says it's a fact.
A fact, okay? Because, we have all these substances that are illegal. Alcohol is legal. So if it's in moderation, you think, must be a fact. Completely safe.
Swansley also says fact.
Who says a fact?
Swansley.
Hi, Swansley. All right. You say it's a fact. All right.
Our myth takers are Randy.
Randy says that's a myth. So even if it's in moderation, you think that could be a problem? Ooh, Randy. All right. Let's see. Who else says it's a myth?
Clara.
Hi, Clara. Ooh, a little naysayer, Clara, are you? Okay. You think
And
even
Belinda.
moderation can give a problem. Who else?
Belinda.
All right. So y'all say it's a myth. All right. So as long as you drink alcohol in moderation, it's completely safe is a myth. It's a myth. It's a myth. It's a myth. Even in small amounts, it's possible to have some of the potential side effects of alcohol, including cirrhosis, esophageal varices, stomach ulcers, liver cancer, and all of us are made differently, of course. And so you have some people who can drink loads of alcohol and they'll never have a problem, never have cirrhosis. Other people's genetics may lend them to having issues from alcohol, even if they drink the recommended moderate amount. And so it really varies. And so if you are someone who drinks, even if you drink in moderation, just understand that according to the World Health Organization and multiple studies, there's no stamp of approval on alcohol. But what we do, the CDC has recommendations of what's considered alcohol overuse versus not. And it's considered to be overuse if you are someone who's born female and you drink more than a drink a day. Okay, so 8 drinks a week or more. And if you're someone who's born male and you drink more than 2 drinks a day or 15 drinks in a week. I didn't do the gender separation. I'm not even sure if I fully understand it, but these are the official CDC recommendations. But understanding, even if you drink less than that, it is possible that you can have some problems. Of course, it can largely be dose dependent, meaning the more you drink, the more problems you have. If you want to learn more about alcohol, check out my video right here on this YouTube channel, dr.frita, where I'm very excited to say we have over 800,000 subscribers. And I have a video on the dark side of alcohol. And if you have questions, we can get to some of them potentially in this live Q&A section afterwards. All right, let's get to question number 2. Question number 2, for those of you who like to pregame or make sure you grab your alcohol as soon as you get to the party so you get your buzz. Oh my goodness. So here's the statement. If you drink alcohol on an empty stomach, that leads to faster absorption and can potentially increase the toxicity. Is that a myth or a fact? Where are my M2s? Where are my F2s?
All right. So we have one chime in with a myth. That was H. Jones.
Okay. All right. So you say that's a myth. You don't think drinking on an empty stomach leads to faster absorption and potential toxicity. All right. Any other takers?
F2s, we got Helen.
Hi, Helen. You say that's a fact. Okay.
Blessed.
Well, facts. If you drink it on an empty stomach, boom, absorb quickly. Okay. Who else?
Angela.
Hi, Angela. A fact. These folks say facts. Now, how do y'all know? All right.
And Melody also says fact.
Melody says a fact. Okay. So the answer is drum roll, drum roll, drum roll. It's a fact. It's a fact. And anyone who's ever had alcohol or watch someone drink alcohol on an empty stomach, you will note that they get that buzz faster. They get some of the effects, some of the signs of alcohol intoxication when it's on an empty stomach. And so not only can that alter your behavior in a faster manner, it can also lead to a greater toxicity. And so it's recommended that if you do partake in alcohol, that you put some food on your stomach to help to slow down the absorption. But yes, the important take-home message is that, yes, if you're going to drink, we do have moderation levels that are recommended to not go over, but it's important that you understand that even in moderation, alcohol can have toxic effects. So make sure you have a safe holiday out here, and please don't drive under the influence. There are too many ride shares, Lyfts, Ubers, or just stand down to the house, stay home. All right. So now let's get into our weekly dose. Make sure you go ahead and give us a like and a share. And if you have not already subscribed to my channel, please do. For those of you, if this is your first time joining us on a live or your first time in the replay crew, I am Dr. Frita. I'm an MD. I'm a medical doctor who has been quadruple board certified. I've been board certified in nephrology, meaning I'm a kidney doctor. I'm a high blood pressure doctor. I've also been board certified in internal medicine, in pediatrics, and in obesity medicine. And so I'm very nosy when it comes to medicine, and I like to talk a lot about a lot. So come on and join us. Check out our channel. We have many, many videos, hundreds of videos at this point, millions of views. And I guarantee there'll be some information explained in a way that's easy to understand. So come on and join the community. Also, hey, we have a members only community also. And we have monthly live Q&As. We have one today, actually. It's not too late to join. If you click the link in the description, then you can join us today. After we finish this live, where I give you all the hot health topics and the headlines, there'll be a live Q&A for only the members. And so it'll be a small setting. You can go back and forth. We can ask and answer questions. We can have a conversation. And hey, you get access to all of this knowledge that I like to have and to share. All right, so let's get into our weekly dose. Raise your hand if you heard about the UnitedHealthcare CEO whose life was taken, okay? His life was taken tragically, but the reaction has been mixed. And so we'll roll this clip, but I want to ask a question, okay? And it'll be a series of numbers. We know that his life was taken, and a lot of people felt, or, this is what's been going on in the media, that his life was taken as a representation of all of the healthcare that's been denied by this huge company, UnitedHealthcare. And so typically when someone's life is taken, we rally around the victim, we rally around the victim's family. But in this case, in the media, we've heard the suspect's name called out more than the victim's name. And we have people who are more sympathetic with the person who took his life. And so I have a question. And of course, whatever you say on here, HIPAA is not in effect, it's public. Okay, we're out there, y'all. So whatever you say, we're gonna know you said it. But if you feel that you want to share your feelings, I have a question. I want you to put a 1 if you find yourself feeling very sympathetic toward the victim, okay, the UnitedHealthcare CEO. Put a 2 if you find yourself feeling more sympathetic toward the suspect. And by putting a 2, I'm not saying that you condone violence, but if you find yourself being sympathetic, if indeed his cause was the millions of people who have been denied health care. And then put a 3 if you find yourself being neutral, okay? Which says something also, because most of us are not neutral. So 1, if you're feeling more sympathetic toward the victim, okay, the CEO. 2, if you're feeling more sympathetic for the suspect and his cause. Again, that doesn't mean you condone violence, but I'm just asking your feelings. And a 3, if you're just like, whatever, and you don't even care about it. All right, let's roll the clip and I'll see what responses we have.
The murder of UnitedHealthcare CEO Brian Thompson is prompting a polarized response, especially online. In tonight's Eye on America, we look into the outpouring of anger, not directed at the shooter, but at the health insurance industry. Here's CBS's Mark Strassman.
It's very hard for me to be empathetic.
Free-floating outrage fuels this American moment.
There are wolves who want to kill you for money.
A targeted killing in Midtown Manhattan, a hooded gunman, and thousands of online posts like, he's a hero, overwhelmingly side with a shooter.
This guy's bringing the country together.
In New York City, a hooded shooter look-alike contest brought cheap laughs. When shooting suspect Luigi Mangione was arrested in Pennsylvania, online hot takes doubled down.
Which one of you McDonald's employees ratted that guy out?
The web's new hot sellers, free Luigi shirts, deny, defend, depose coffee mugs, delivery before Christmas. Seemingly forgotten, Brian Thompson, UnitedHealthcare CEO, murdered in cold blood. The 50-year-old husband and father of 2 sons was buried on Monday. But online voices see him only as the face of a $500 billion health conglomerate. In their eyes, the obstacle to affordable health care. To many of these critics, it's a business model built on refusing to pay for services. In 2023, UnitedHealthcare denied roughly 33% of all claims, the highest rate in the industry. The overall industry rate, 19%.
I understand the kind of cultural wash, the response that is kind of washed over a large segment of the population.
Yolanda Wilson is a healthcare ethicist. In January, she needed a hysterectomy. This letter from UnitedHealthcare denied her claim 2 days before her scheduled surgery.
I was surprised. It just kind of sent me into turmoil.
Were you angry?
A little bit.
Maybe more than a little bit?
Probably more than a little bit.
Her surgeon fought for her. The claim was approved. But in a world that's often black and white, her take on the murdered executive has lots of gray.
You don't agree with the shooting?
I don't agree with the shooting.
When it first happened, you weren't sad.
No.
Were you sad for his family?
Yes.
But you were also sad for all the people his company had denied.
Yes.
The decisions are made by multiple people, not just by one person.
We heard more nuance from customers at Pickles Deli in downtown St. Louis. Sure, lots of health insurance horror stories, including Kim's Fahelix.
High premiums, high deductibles,
High frustration?
high frustration.
But everyone we talked to here, like Gary Sims, repudiated the killing.
I can empathize with the frustration that they may have with the insurance process, but that's no excuse whatsoever to gun that man down.
Yeah, it's mixed. And Shador, I know that normally when there's a victim in such a public crime, you have a memorial, you have all types of flowers, and people go to the site of where the person was unalived. But apparently there wasn't much of a memorial. So yeah. And and with us being in the office, Shador, we see firsthand on how so many insurance claims are denied, or simple medications that I prescribe that I know are best for my patient. We just had this past week. I mean, we always have them, but one that was really stark. A patient needed a medication. It was sitting right there in the pharmacy. If he didn't get it, he needed to go to the emergency department. And sometimes the emergency department will bill the patients outside of their insurance. And we did everything, the pre-authorizations, the jumping through all the red hoops to get him this medication. He was still denied. And so made a choice not to pay out of pocket. I do hope he went to the emergency department, but if he didn't, then it would have been because he was denied something that, something could happen. I pray that it doesn't, but we see this all too many times, and it's frustrating, especially when they just shared that number on how UnitedHealthcare denies way more than the average. They're denying 33%, when the average denials are about 19%. So I'm curious to know what the med heads said in the chat. Who feels sympathetic toward the victim, okay, the person who was unalived? Who finds himself feeling more sympathetic toward the suspect? And again, that doesn't mean that you condone him unaliving someone, but if you feel more sympathetic toward the cause that they're putting out there for the patient. And 3, if you just can't call it, or if you're just like, I'm neutral. Any response?
Yeah, absolutely. So Winston says
Hi,
one
Winston.
is wrong.
Okay, it's wrong. Okay.
Yeah, Tracy also agrees. She says violence is not the answer.
Not the answer, right? Because then where do we go from here? Okay, if this is how it's solved. It's surprising though on how much, they had competitions on who dressed like the shooter and the suspect. And, they're talking about his 6-pack and his abs. And we definitely hear his name more in the media than we do the 50-year-old husband and father of 2. Okay. Who else said is wrong?
Sylvia.
Okay. All right. So sympathetic, because that's still a wife who doesn't have a husband, 2 children who don't have a father, and just someone who was doing his job and not standing alone, right? He's doing it under committees. He's doing it. All right. But then, of course, it's polarizing. Did anyone else feel more sympathetic for the suspect and his cause? Anyone care to share?
Yes. So Randy.
All right.
So Randy.
All
calls.
right. And again, I'm not saying that you condone what he did, but you're feeling more sympathetic for the millions of people whose health care has been denied. Okay. That's
And
honest.
also, Edward.
Feeling more for the person, for the cause. All right. Did anyone weigh in on being neutral? Or were they just so neutral they didn't even bother to put a 3?
Yeah, a couple people chimed in with 3. V.E. Hall.
Hi, V. Hey, welcome back. Hi, V.E. Hall. Okay. And I'm curious if the neutral is if you don't have any feeling, or if you can just see it so both ways you're evenly split. Because normally there's no even split. You're just all in for it toward the victim. But this one might be pulling people both ways. Okay. All right.
And Janet, also neutral.
She could probably see it both ways, not condoning any violence, but just really feeling it on the and of course I see it from both sides, because as a patient, I've been denied and had to pay out of pocket. And okay, so that might work for me in some cases, but there are some people who absolutely don't have the choice of paying out of the pocket. They don't have it. And so now they're just denied and they don't get the health care they want. And of course, we've watched this happen with our patients, and it takes time. And we put in the work. Shador, I know you sit up there. Y'all know Shador is my office manager also for 12 years at this point. Oh, and I got it out here like that on YouTube Live. Anyway, but all that work that's put in, the paperwork, and sometimes we still get denied. So it's frustrating. Yeah, but we absolutely do not condone violence. This is, unfortunately, in an unprecedented way, and in a way that I don't like. It's putting a highlight on the broken healthcare system. And we saw that there was another company that was going to start charging people for anesthesia that went over time. For example, if you were scheduled to get your gallbladder taken out, and if the surgery was supposed to take an hour and a half, they were going to make patients pay if the surgery took 2 hours or 2.5 hours. But after this incident happened, I'm not saying it's a cause and effect, but after the CEO of UnitedHealthcare was unalived, they changed that policy and they're going to cover people. So I hope it's not positive reinforcement for violence, but we've got to fix our healthcare system, right? All right. All right. This is Medicine in the News. Go ahead and give us a like. We're giving you evidence-based medicine. And now we're about to get into something else. We're going to talk about Brandi Glanville. Put a 4 in the chat if you've ever watched or heard of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills or any of the Real Housewives franchises. Put a 4 in the chat if you know about the Real Housewife franchises. Well, Brandi Glanville is a Real Housewife alum of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, and she is someone who has been known, as many of them, to do all types of, fillers. She's been open about that, Botox. I don't know what other types of cosmetic surgeries, but lately her face has been looking disfigured, deformed, and she's almost unrecognizable. Okay. If I didn't hear her voice in the interview, I would not have known that that was actually Brandi Glanville. Well, now there is a fear that she might have a facial parasite. Okay. So let's go ahead and play the clip, and I'll see who puts a 4 in the chat, who knows about her.
What happened to her face? Real Housewives of Beverly Hills star Brandi Glanville is sharing this photo of her disfigured face. She captioned the image, "Sick of it. Look at the puffiness and craters."
I have a parasite that jumps around my face. It lives in the skin in my face. It'll go and jump around to different places and just get lumpy in all the different places.
I've been in and out of the hospital this past year and a half, spent almost every dollar I have trying to figure it out, she writes. She also says it might be stress-induced edema. We showed the photo to dermatologist Dr. Michelle Henry. Could it be a parasite?
It could be a parasite. We know about things like scabies. Fleas could even do this.
The former model has been cast in and out of the popular Housewives franchise since 2011. She's notorious for causing lots of drama.
I will kill you. You do not want to talk to me like that.
Now this.
Oh my goodness. Anyone put a 4 in the chat? They know about these franchises of Real Housewives. Yeah. So with Brandi Glanville, for those of you who have been watching, and let me just go ahead and tell y'all, full disclosure, I watch just about all the franchises or listen to the reviews. I love myself some messy reality TV. That's just what that is. And so I was definitely watching back when Brandi Glanville was wreaking havoc and causing chaos. And she used to, and again, she's been open about it, get a lot of fillers. Okay. So she's a model or at least she was a model. And in my opinion, a very attractive person. But even when she was younger, she's 52 now, but even when she was younger, she would get so much filler in her face that it would look puffy and almost deformed. And so she's been using filler over the years. And it's just one thing, it makes everyone stop and check themselves, because we know that there are all kinds of procedures, be it, fillers, Botox, lip injections, all the things, BBLs, which you talk about, butt shots, which are illegal, tummy tucks, liposuction, you name it. When you are a celebrity, or if you're someone with a high income, you have access, but you still have to be careful and check the person in the mirror on if you really need these procedures. Will they enhance you? Will they make you feel better? Or are you chasing a self-esteem that is still not going to be there? These are just questions to ask yourself. So I encourage people who are doing a lot of cosmetic procedures, make sure that you do have your therapist, and make sure that you're going to a professional board-certified dermatologist or a board-certified plastic surgeon. And I'll tell you, the power of suggestion. I know sometimes you look at people who are on TV and you're like, oh my gosh, she was already beautiful. Why did she do that to her nose? Why did she do that to her face? And it's the peer pressure, and people will offer you things that you really don't need, and it'll send you to go and look in the mirror. I remember it wasn't even my appointment. I went with someone who was seeing a plastic surgeon, and they were like, oh, well, while you're here, do you want some lip fillers? And I'm like, I never thought about my lips one way or the other. So I'm like, no, thank you. I don't need that. And they're like, well, they're offering me all these things. It makes you go home and start looking in the mirror and start, so you can imagine if you're someone where everybody's doing it. So I understand how people can get the peer pressure, but let's talk about it. Okay. I want y'all to put a 5 in the chat if you think that Brandi has a facial parasite. Put a 6 in the chat if you think that she probably just had too many fillers or some kind of other issue. We don't know the answer, but I'm just curious. A 5 in the chat if you think it's a facial parasite, a 6, and then I'll weigh in real quickly before we move on to our next topic, because we're talking about Jamie Foxx. And yes, his brain bleed and his stroke, but also how he got into an altercation and he had stitches. All right. Anybody put a 5? They think the parasite sounds about right. Or 6?
Yeah.
They think she did too much. Who thinks it really might be a parasite? Who said it?
Purple Onion thinks it may be a mirror.
Hey, welcome back, Purple. I love that name so much. Okay, so welcome back. So you think it really could be a parasite? Okay.
Lori, hello, Lori. Says
Hi, Lori.
6.
Okay.
She don't think so.
Oh, she does not think it's a parasite.
Does not.
Okay. All right. So I'll go ahead and weigh in. And again, we don't know. We don't know. And Dr. Terry Dubrow, who was actually on that the franchise. Oh, he was actually Real Housewives of OC, I believe, but he's a plastic surgeon. You may have seen him on the show Botched. He has offered to actually see her as a patient and do a review. I know in his opinion, he does not think it's likely that it's a parasite. It's still possible. She has not, to our knowledge, had an official diagnosis of a parasite, but I do want to take this opportunity to talk about something that can cause these issues, and that's cheek fillers, facial fillers. For people who get fillers, I know originally it was thought that, oh, the fillers will last a few months and then that's it. And then it was thought, oh, some fillers last a year, like the hyaluronic acid. Some fillers last 15 months. But research is showing that the fillers can last much longer than that. And some people can actually have allergic reactions to fillers, or even when they're getting injected, they can even some type of an infection can be introduced. So theoretically, a parasite could be introduced, but also fungus or mycobacteria. And so she could have a reaction. And then if you have an autoimmune disease, even if you haven't been diagnosed or you didn't know you had it, but if you have something like a lupus or rheumatoid arthritis, then your body could actually start fighting the fillers, okay? And you can have a reaction like that. And so could she have a parasite that's jumping around? It is possible. It's possible. It would be, in my opinion, more likely that her body's having a reaction, okay, to the fillers, or there's some other type of a foreign body that has been injected. And so she seems to be pretty transparent. I'll be curious to see if she comes back and she shares, but it's really unfortunate that while seeking to maximize her beauty, she's actually caused herself, or whoever caused it, her face is literally deformed. And so I do wish her the best, because she shares that this has put her in a very dark place. Okay. All right. Now let's talk about Jamie Foxx. Put a 7 if you already watched his special. What Had Happened Was on Netflix. Okay, let me put my 7 in because I watched it. Put a 7 in the chat if you watched him. And please go ahead and like this video, subscribe to this YouTube channel. And if you're not a member already, go ahead and click that membership button in the description because we're doing our live Q&A, members only, right after this. All right, so Jamie Foxx did share that when he had that medical emergency, that mystery back in April 2023, and he disappeared, and people had all these rumors about him, even that he was unalive or that he had a clone. He now has shared in his Netflix special that he actually had a brain bleed and he had a stroke. Okay, so he survived a brain bleed. He survived a stroke. He's back. He's acting again, doing his comedy, dancing, all of those things. So he survived that. But now on Friday the 13th, he was celebrating his birthday at a dinner, and something happened that caused him to need stitches. Let's roll that clip.
Jamie Foxx is speaking out after being injured during a confrontation at his birthday dinner, a day after the Oscar winner was allegedly involved in a physical altercation with an unidentified person, resulting in him needing to get stitches. The 57-year-old takes to Instagram on December 14th to address the situation and thank fans for their support. Jamie first shares a simple message on his feed that reads, "The devil is busy, but I'm too blessed to be stressed." He then writes in the caption of the post, "The devil is a lie. Can't win here. Thank you to everybody that pray and check on me. When your light is shining bright, they try to bring you darkness, but they don't know that you're built for it. The lights have been shining bright." On December 13th, the Ray actor was celebrating turning 57 with his family at a restaurant in Beverly Hills when things reportedly took a turn. A rep for the actor told NBC News at the time, Jamie Foxx was at his birthday dinner when someone from another table threw a glass that hit him in the mouth. He had to get stitches and is recovering. The police were called and the matter is now in law enforcement's hands. The Beverly Hills Police Department also released a statement to NBC News explaining that at about 10 p.m., officers responded to a reported possible assault with a deadly weapon at Mr. Chow. The statement reads in part, "Upon investigation, officers determined that the reported assault with a deadly weapon was unfounded. Instead, the incident involved a physical altercation between parties. The BHPD conducted a preliminary investigation and completed a report documenting the battery. No arrests were made." TMZ reported that Jamie had already left the restaurant when the police arrived at the scene. The incident took place more than a year after the actor was hospitalized for another ailment, which he confirmed on his new Netflix special. What had happened was to have been a brain bleed that turned into a stroke.
All right, he's been through a lot, Shador. Anyone put a 7 that they've already seen the special? What had happened was
Belinda.
Yeah. Hi, Belinda. Yeah. What'd you think? I thought it was pretty good. It was more of a storytelling than a comedy show, but it was good to see him and, good to see him back. He's so multi-talented as he expresses, and you get the chance to see and remember all the movies he's been in. The fact that he's not only a comedian, not only an actor, but he can sing. For real, he can sing. And so he really is just a super multi-talented person. All right.
Oh, KK. She says actually what happened to him, his story, it was good. So she did watch the special.
Yes, I thought it was too. And he got emotional too, and you got to see his daughters. So it was a different side of him. And so for all of us who've been curious and wondering what's going on and hey, what's he hiding? He really came out and he shared more than he had to. It really made me very empathetic and very excited for him. And he expressed his great faith, his religion, like he was unapologetically a believer. And so I thought it was a neat side too. Yeah. All right. But let's talk briefly about the brain bleed that he had. So, I do encourage you to watch the special. He had a headache and then he found out that he had a brain bleed and a stroke when he woke up after being in a coma for 20 days. And so just remember that when it comes to strokes, because he had a brain bleed and a stroke, there are two different types of strokes. There are ischemic strokes, meaning that there is a blockage of proper brain flow to one of the vessels or arteries in your brain. And then there are hemorrhagic strokes, which is what he apparently had, the brain bleed. For the ischemic strokes, there are a couple of kinds. There could be one where it's an embolic stroke or where you just have a thrombus or you have a plaque, okay, that's built up in a brain artery, a cerebral artery, or you have a thrombus Okay, a thrombotic, just something that's there, or you can have a thromboembolic stroke where the clot may start off somewhere else, like in your carotid artery, okay, or it may even start off in your heart and you have atrial fibrillation. You can have a clot there and then it embolizes. You get a thromboembolic stroke and it travels to the brain, okay? So you can have a thrombus that starts there and causes the ischemic stroke, or you can have something that travels. And this is what happens in 87% of the cases. Most people have an ischemic stroke, okay? In 13% of the cases, it's hemorrhagic, and there are many causes. One can be an intense high blood pressure, and he does reportedly have a history of high blood pressure. Make sure you go to my Instagram at dr.frita. I actually did a video where I go into more detail about strokes and about brain bleeds, and I give you 5 critical facts that you should know. So check that out. Give me a follow after you finish this video. And if you have any questions, we can get to some. Also on this video right here on this YouTube channel, I have a video on strokes. Okay, strokes explained. I also have a video here on how to unclog your arteries naturally. Okay, we're going to detail. And as far as him getting stitches, someone threw a glass at him. And so it's really getting dangerous for celebrities out there. When someone throws a glass, it could cause so many things. Of course, it can give you obvious lacerations to your face, and he had to get stitches, but they also could have caused a permanent damage to his eye, taking his vision. They could have hit in just the right place and caused him to have a major bleed, like an epidural hematoma. They could have hit an artery, right? They could have, the carotid artery is not that deep. They could have actually unalived him. And so he just survived, recovered, and now he had an altercation at his birthday celebration. And so that was just tragic news. That was tragic news, but sounds like he's okay. I pray he continues to do well. And people need to check themselves as far as the violence, okay? Stop the violence, kick the science. All right. So Randy Moss. Let's talk about Randy Moss. Many of you, I know you know him as the Hall of Famer, 47 years old, and he's been on ESPN, always has a lot to say, and arguably the greatest wide receiver in history. You can surely argue that based on his records. And let's play this clip about Randy Moss because he shared that he has bile duct cancer. The Pro Football Hall of Fame wide receiver Randy Moss shared that he has been diagnosed with bile duct cancer. I'm Dr. Frita, and here are 7 things to know about bile duct cancer or cholangiocarcinoma. 1, bile is a digestive fluid made by your liver and stored in your gallbladder. Your bile ducts deliver this bile to your small intestine to help you to digest fats and proteins. 2, bile duct cancer occurs when a mutation or change occurs in your bile duct cells, causing them to divide and grow in an uncontrolled manner, leading to the formation of a tumor. 3, when this tumor blocks the flow of bile, it can lead to the following symptoms: jaundice or yellowing of the eyes and skin, dark-colored urine, white-colored stools or bowel movements, very itchy skin, pain in the right upper part of your abdomen, fatigue, unintentional weight loss. 4, risk factors include chronic liver disease, smoking, diabetes, liver parasites that can come from eating uncooked fish. 5, it can be diagnosed with blood tests like liver function tests, tumor markers, imaging studies like CAT scans and ultrasounds, ERCP, MRCP, biopsy. 6, treatment may include surgery, chemotherapy, radiation, immunotherapy. 7, if you are having symptoms of bile duct cancer, contact a doctor immediately. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Most people who are diagnosed with bile duct cancer are older than 50. He's only 57. He's only 47, 47 years old. Healthy person, athlete, and he got the bile duct cancer anyway. Put an 8 in the chat if you've never heard of this type of cancer. A lot of people I've been getting responses had never heard of it. But put an 8 in the chat if you had never heard of it, and then I'll keep moving. And so if you have questions, we can get to hopefully a couple of these questions in the live Q&A. But he had yellow eyes and he had dark colored urine, which are 2 of the symptoms, not only of bile duct cancer, but those could be symptoms of liver disease, liver cancer, liver tumor, of pancreatic cancer, of gallbladder cancer. Okay, so we can talk about that. But yeah, put an 8 in the chat if you had never heard of bile duct cancer. Any eights popping up, or everybody heard of
P.
it?
Davis. Yeah,
Was
that's
it?
eights popping up. P. Davis.
Hi, hello. Yeah, so I can talk about it some if you have any questions about it.
Anton. Never heard
Hi,
of it.
Anton. You're not alone. It's not a common one. There's no screening for it. Most people don't even know they have a bile duct. Yeah.
And Dr. Dorothy Ridgway.
Hi.
Never heard of it.
See, it's not something that we commonly hear about. But if y'all have questions, I can also talk about the survival rates. He's got shirts, I believe they say like "Let's Moss Cancer," and so he's partnered with someone where a portion of the proceeds will go to fighting cancer. He says it's a cancer survivor, so he has come out and spoken about it. It's just unfortunate. Just cancer it's just the worst, you know. And so I'm definitely praying that he does well. And he talks about prayer warriors. That's another one who speaks very openly about being a believer. But yeah, if y'all have any questions about it, we'll talk about it. And if you want to catch that video again, you can catch it on my Instagram. Just follow me at dr.frita. We also have it on YouTube in one of the YouTube short form contents where you'll be able to, you can see it, you can play it, you can share it if you just want to look at the anatomy of the gallbladder, the bile duct, to kind of get it in your head on what this is and what you need to know, you know, to make sure you can protect yourself and your loved ones. All right, so let's move. We'll hit a couple of topics really quickly, and I hope y'all have some questions for me. We'll do a brief live Q&A, and then we'll do a long live Q&A with the members only, where you can go back and forth and get more time. And if you're someone who does have a question for me, but you don't want to do it on a public platform like this one, I do offer a concierge telehealth service where you can click the link in the description and you can talk to me one-on-one. I can have time to get a full history from you, and I can give you some information on whatever medical issues you have. So from anywhere in the world, we have patients who come in. I'm talking about from anywhere in the world. I've had people to come and take advantage of this telehealth service, and we've got some really good, been able to help some people. I feel really proud about it. So yes, if you want to talk one-on-one where your privacy is protected, check me out on this telehealth service. If you have more general questions that you don't mind asking in front of everybody, ask them at the live Q&A here. And then if you just want a smaller setting where it's members only and you get more attention and where you can keep getting your questions answered back to back to back with the members only, click the description. All right. So we had a very tragic unaliving that occurred with a Disney influencer. Black Girls Disney, a Disney influencer, Dominique Brown, was at an event and she reportedly, I don't know, but reportedly, according to her friends, shared a food allergy that she had. And it is now believed, at least by her team, that she received that food that she was allergic to, and she actually passed away at the age of 34.
Disney influencer Dominique Brown, co-founder of Black Girls Disney, has died at age 34 following a severe allergic reaction at a food event in Los Angeles. The incident occurred during a holiday event where Brown was served food containing an allergen, even though she allegedly told staff members she had a life-threatening condition.
Carlos Salcedo is live in Hollywood with reaction to the tragic event and calls for more emergency preparedness. Carlos.
Like I shared, just a sad tragedy. The beloved Long Beach resident had a huge following on social media. She died after having a severe allergic reaction. Tonight, her passing is leading to calls for change. A Disney lover turned social media influencer, Dominique Brown, shared her Disney joy with the world.
I feel like this is me. This is what I am doing it.
The 34-year-old was the co-creator of Black Girl Disney, encouraging more women of color to live out their Disney fantasy. Fans and friends are now in mourning after she passed away last week from a medical emergency. Friends say she had a severe allergic reaction to food consumed at a holiday event in downtown LA.
We want justice. We want answers.
Marcus Medley had been best friends with Dominique since high school. He was not with her at the event, but says those who were heard Dominique tell the staff about her allergy.
The frustration specifically around, her letting staff know and reiterating her allergy, but still being served something that had what she was allergic to is really where the anger lies.
The DJ was even heard asking the crowd if anyone had an EpiPen. Dominique received CPR before being rushed to the hospital. Marcus started a petition on change.org calling on more food allergy measures in California with enhanced training.
Staff needs to be just very well trained on how to prevent and save someone in a food allergy related reaction incident.
Box Lunch, a retailer that specializes in fandom merchandise, hosted the event. They sent us a statement reading in part, quote, "We are devastated by the passing of Dominique Brown, a beloved member of the Box Lunch Collective. Measures were also taken to ensure the event venue was aware of all known allergens, and an investigation into the matter has been launched."
Shador, this is one of the saddest stories, and I know it hits home, right? It hits home. Hits home for me. You know, I have kids with food allergies. I know about, your family, different allergies. And I think what's scary, Shador, is that once you're used to having allergies, you move about your day, okay, oh, I'm a little allergic to this. This can make my throat itch. Oh, my lips are starting to swell a little bit. Let me grab Benadryl. But I think sometimes the greater public, especially people who don't know about food allergies, a lot of folks don't understand that what happened to Dominique Brown can happen and does happen to other people with allergies. You can lose your life on something as simple as a wait staff or a server or someone making a mistake and putting an allergen in your food. Now, I'm going to reiterate, I do not know for a fact if she told them. That's what's being reported by her friends and even secondhand. So, of course, let's let the investigation take place. I'm not placing blame, but reportedly, according to her friends, she did tell them about the allergy. But it's really important, if you're someone who you have certain foods and you know that your throat starts itching, your lips start swelling. And I know with a lot of people, it's almost like a game. Like, and I know some folks close to home in my family, allergic to shrimp. And if he's watching, he knows I'm talking about him, but he'll just eat shrimp until his throat starts itching. And then he knows to take a Benadryl and he's done. Not a good idea. You never know when it's going to hit. And so if you have an allergy, or you suspect that you do, please consult with your physician, see an allergy specialist, okay, to find out what all you're allergic to. And if you are at risk for having what apparently she had, anaphylactic shock, which is a severe allergic reaction that can take your life, ask your doctor about having an EpiPen on board, okay, getting an EpiPen. And please respect the rules. A lot of schools now won't allow peanuts in the school, or if they have someone who's allergic to shellfish, they won't allow anyone to take shrimp or any shellfish to school. And sometimes people could be annoyed, like, I like peanut butter, I like peanuts. What's wrong with these people? Well, now you see nothing's wrong with them, but people can lose their lives, especially kids who like to share things at lunchtime. So just please respect the rules if your child attends a school that says no peanuts, no peanut butter, or certain things where they say no one can have it because of an allergy, because they know, like now we all know, and that food allergies can take a life. So certainly sending up prayers for Dominique Brown's family, for her loved ones, for her fans. And I'm really sorry, that she had to lose her life like this. All right. For anyone who has any questions on food allergies, or if you have any stories you want to share, or if you have allergies and have had some type of a close situation, then please put it in the chat, or you can put it in the form of a question, and we'll see which ones we can get to. And so now we'll have just one more story, and then we'll have my favorite part, the live Q&A. And then afterwards, we'll move on to the members only live Q&A. All right. So this was that question I posed. Is your work unaliving you? Is your work trying to take you out? And I'm not being facetious. So let's roll this clip, just a little piece of it, and then we'll talk, and then we'll move on to the questions.
Did you know that sitting for more than 10 hours a day could be silently putting your heart at risk? Even if you're hitting the gym and meeting your weekly exercise goals, prolonged sitting might still be affecting your health. Intrigued? Let's dive in. Like this video and subscribe to our channel for more tips to improve your health and well-being. Before we continue, if you find value in content like this, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us create more engaging and informative videos. Most people spend an average of 10 hours sitting every day. Our study shows that sitting for over 10.6 hours is significantly linked to heart failure and cardiovascular death. This is true even if you're meeting the recommended 150 minutes of moderate exercise each week. After analyzing 8 years of data, researchers found a critical threshold. Sitting for more than 10.6 hours daily caused a sharp rise in heart failure and cardiovascular death risks. And while regular exercise reduces some risks, it doesn't fully counteract the effects of excessive sitting. Here's why. Long hours of inactivity can lead to poor circulation, weakened heart function, and even metabolic disorders. Simply put, the human body wasn't designed for such prolonged stillness. Thankfully, there's good news. Small lifestyle changes can make a big difference. Simple tweaks like setting a reminder to move every hour, incorporating activity snacks, short bursts of movement like taking stairs or doing a quick set of push-ups, and using a standing desk if possible or parking farther away to get extra steps in. Remember, every little bit of movement adds up. Swapping just a few sedentary minutes for light activity can reduce your risk of cardiovascular issues significantly.
All right. Put a 10 in the chat if you sit for more than 10 hours a day at your job. And if your job is at home and you know you're sitting at home in front of the Zoom for more than 10 hours a day, put a 10 in the chat. And then we'll go ahead and we'll hit a few questions in this live Q&A. We'll just be able to get to a few. So, and then we'll move on to our members only. Please make sure you like this video. Y'all see that thumbs up. Give us a like. It helps YouTube to know that we're here, that we're giving evidence-based information, and share it. Share it in your group chat. Share it on your Facebook. Share it on your Instagram. Share it on your TikTok while you can. And, you know, let folks know that we're giving information that can help you to live your healthiest, happiest life. Oh, and I have some more information that can help you live your healthiest, happiest life. Make sure you click the link in the description. If you're in the replay crew, it's going to be there for you, where I have a free download. I have a PDF on healthy habits, okay, to help you live your best life. Okay, 10 healthy habits to help you live your best life. These are habits that I use in my day-to-day life, not just physical habits like exercise, but also water drinking, lemons, meditation, giving yourself positive checks, positive reinforcement, just ways to keep your life as positive as possible, and to give you a long life, quality of life. So check that out. I have it for you for free. All right, let's move into our questions. But I'm curious, anybody put a 10 that they think they sit more than 10 hours a day?
No takers on it. That's free.
Okay, good. I think I should do the rest of this standing up. Okay, I'll sit down. All right, any questions? Any questions?
Yes. KT, hi KT.
Hi KT, how you doing?
KT asks, is it as dangerous to take prescription meds and stop them as it is to not take them at all?
Is it as dangerous to take prescription medicines as, you know, as opposed to stopping them and not taking them at all? So of course that question would be a loaded question that would need to be asked individually, because it could depend on the med. And what I give you here is information. It does not replace the information or advice that your actual physician gives you. But here's the short of it. There are many prescription medications that, depending on the individual, they're necessary. Case in point, I definitely talk about high blood pressure, right? I'm a board certified high blood pressure specialist, and I love talking about lifestyle to lower blood pressure, using food as medicine, using beets, using garlic, using exercises. I have a video right here on this YouTube channel, 10 best exercises to lower your blood pressure the natural way. So definitely I like using the holistic. And I also have a book. You can click the link in the description, or you can go to Amazon to get it, or go to dr.frita.com, Under Pressure, a guide to controlling high blood pressure. And I talk about, you know, trying to do it without medicine. But here's the truth of the matter. There are some people who have primary hypertension or essential hypertension who can do all of the right things, and they may still need a blood pressure medicine, a prescription. And so in that case, it will be very dangerous for them to stop the medication, even if they're doing all of the right things. And I think about my own mother when she got diagnosed with high blood pressure. Oh, she might tell me off. Where's mama? When she got diagnosed, she was running 6 miles every other day. She was thin. She was healthy. Those are the cards she was dealt. She just has high blood pressure. And so if she did not do those things, she might need to be on 4 medicines, 5 medicines. So doing all the lifestyle can help you be on less medicines, but sometimes medicine is necessary. I have people who walk into my office, they'll have a blood pressure of 190 over 110. And they'll be like, Dr. Frita, I don't want it to be on no medicine. I don't like prescriptions. I'll be like, look, we will do all the lifestyle, but today, to keep you from having a stroke, having a heart attack on my watch, the prescription is necessary. Now, when the prescriptions start to interfere with other prescriptions, then they may be dangerous. And there are also some medications that require you to be weaned off of them. Case in point, steroids like prednisones. It is not recommended to stop a steroid that you've been on for long-term suddenly, because you can go into what we call an adrenal crisis. The short of it is, KT, is that this is a very individualized question, but for anyone who's feeling like they're on a medication that could be harming them, consult with your doctor before stopping the medication. Thank you for your question, KT. I hope you're doing well.
Thank you, Dr. Frita. Comment from Lawrence.
Hi, Lawrence.
Lauren says, hi, Dr. Frita. I love your amazing videos, and I love when you discuss about health issues and what we can do to take care of ourselves and what to eat and not to eat. Thank you, Dr. Frita. Thumbs up.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And please make sure you share these videos and y'all go ahead and share this video right now and click a like so more people can see our content. Again, we're up to over 815,000 subscribers on this YouTube channel. We are steadily marching toward 1 million. And I'm very excited about it because, I mean, in case you can't tell, I love sharing medical information. And I really believe, and I've gotten feedback like yours, I appreciate it, that, you know, we're doing the Lord's work, that we're helping people and breaking down information in a way they can understand. So thank you for that. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. And JT agrees.
Hey, JT.
Maybe someone you know, Dr. Frita. I see and hear this all the time. She dropping knowledge, and it's Boogie.
Boogie.
Caught alive. Hey.
Boogie from St. Pete. Y'all, if there's only one Boogie, I'm not going to even ask if it's the Boogie. There's only one Boogie. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Y'all, I've known Boogie from the start. Loved his mama, loved his daddy, loved his sister, whole family. Hi, Boogie. I hope y'all are doing well. I hope Keisha's doing well. All right. Oh, thank you for popping in. Oh, that's a good blast from the past.
All right, Dr. Frita, quick shout out to VE. So my 93-year-old mom enjoys watching and listening to you.
Oh, good. 93. Look, she needs to come on here and tell us what she's doing. What are the secrets? Thank you so much. And I'm so happy she enjoys my videos. Tell her I said hi. 93. That's all right.
All right. And special shout out to our members only, Miss Rosalind Washington. Afternoon, Dr. Frita and Shador.
Okay, Miss Rosalind, we're about to have our members only live. So I hope you have your questions ready so we could chat back and forth. Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us today. I appreciate you. Again, make sure you hit subscribe and hit the notification bell. I've got a video coming out this week, maybe as soon as tomorrow, on 9 winter comfort foods to help to lower your blood pressure and promote heart health. Okay. I'm up there making soups. I'm in the kitchen, y'all. I'm in the kitchen for health, for winter comfort food. So make sure you check it out. Make sure you like this video on your way out the door. And I appreciate you. And I will see you next week. Yes, we're here for Christmas. We're here for Christmas. So we'll see you next week. And thank y'all for watching.